Hey YouTube, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing some knotless braids on my little client Serenity. First, I started off by parting her hair in the middle of her head from front to back, then at the back of her ear up to the middle. So you do not have to pre-part. I don't pre-part all the time, but I think I spend more time parting the hair than actually braiding. So pre-parting may seem like it's taking up too much of your time in the beginning, but it really helps. One less thing to worry about. And if you make a mistake, or if you make one section larger than the other, you can always go back and fix it. I then split the back into 4 sections like so, and I use my heat brush to go through and soften her hair. And I'm going to be using pure au natural or pure neat braid braiding gel and pre-stretched braiding hair in the lengths 28 and 48 inches in the color 1B. So I did a total of 9 rows, 4 rows at the bottom of the ear, and that includes 1 row of box braids at the nape of her neck. Because the first row was extremely short, I attempted knotless braids, but they would only slide out, so I went with a few box braids instead for security. I'm not sure if you can tell, but she has really thick, coarse hair, but we're going for a lightweight, medium look. So now Santa's little helper is placing the 28-inch braiding hair on the smaller braiding rack while I'm prepping the 48-inch braiding hair on the larger braiding rack. And having your hair pre-sectioned definitely saves you on time when braiding. So I'm going to be doing 3 single box braids to avoid doing knotless braids now, and they slide out later on. Now she's checking to make sure that her braids are not butt length because her mom forbid it. But I added a few inches because we're going to curl the ends afterwards using flexi rods, and that will cause the braiding hair to shrink, so that this length should be okay. So I went ahead and completed the first 2 rows of knotless braids, and I did a total of 5 braids on the second row and 7 braids on the third row. And I'm ensuring that my boxes are placed in between the part or box underneath. I'm also trying my best to get my boxes as even as possible. I'm also applying braiding gel to clean up my parts and make sure that they're nice and neat. I don't apply braiding gel anymore when first pre-parting my sections because it sometimes dries quickly, leaving a white cast and having a sticky feel. So I avoid it altogether and apply the braiding gel when I'm parting my boxes and immediately before starting a braid. You'll also see me flipping the sections back and forth, and that's because I'm checking to ensure that my row is the width and size that I'm going for. Right here, I'm just sectioning my boxes and making sure that they're all the same size. And now my 4 sections at the back are complete. So now I'm about to start on my 5 top rows. So let's go through how I do my knotless braids. I'm sectioning the box out, ensuring that it falls in between the 2 boxes underneath. I ensure that the parts are clean and that it's the same size or at least close to the same size as the other braids. I then clip the hair that's not being braided away so it does not get in my way. I apply braiding gel to the section and split that section into 3 parts, 3 even parts. I'm now going to do half of a braid before adding my first small piece of braiding hair, and then do a complete braid to secure that piece of braiding hair. I then add another piece of braiding hair and do another complete braid. I add a total of 4 small pieces of braiding hair before flipping my hands into an under braid and continue to braid down. So right now the braid feels like it's getting a bit too small, so I'm going to be adding another small piece of braiding hair to keep that same consistency and continue to braid the hair down. So now I'm going to connect the front rows with the middle rows to ensure that they're all in alignment. And even though I already sectioned my rows, I still had to go back in and grab whatever pieces I needed from other rows just to make sure my parts are as even as possible. Pre-parting is only a guide. It can be adjusted. I'm now on my last 2 rows and I try my best to make sure that the middle part is in the middle. If you know, you know. And I try my best to make sure that all of my braids in the middle are the same size, or if not, around the same size. I'm now on my last braid, and I fully saturate the section with braiding gel. I comb through to detangle and then split the section into 3 even pieces. I gradually add small pieces of braiding hair until I get to the desired size, and I continue braiding down as normal. Now I'm trimming the braids, ensuring that they appear neat and pretty. My client's hair has been tucked inside of the braiding hair, so this will not affect her natural hair. I then dip the ends into steaming hot water to seal the ends of the braids, and so it will loosen up and not be as stiff. I now apply hair grease for added shine and dip the hair into steaming hot water one more time. I'm just rolling and twisting the ends of the braiding hair onto the flexi rods so I can dip them in hot water.
Purchase beats with no tax.
I'm going to be applying some mousse, some holding spray, and some